2, it is Mousesports' choice, as we mentioned, and it will be on DE Train.
Yep.
The yard at which their win rate doesn't necessarily indicate how much they enjoy playing it and how good they actually are at it, but they're also up against Dignitas, who aren't necessarily... I wouldn't say it's their best map. I think that's fair to say, but I wouldn't call them weak at it either.
I still like to point out, like I said previously, I wouldn't still put that much effort on what the numbers say, because I think Titan was the best example of, we saw them play, I can't remember who they played against. It was...
they played Mousesports and Dignitas on Train.
I think they played Mousesports where they got a total of 4 rounds. They won the pistol, they got the second and third round, and they got 1 weapon round after that. And then against Dignitas, they played a much faster paced game, a lot faster, and it looked totally different from what we saw the other night. So don't read too much into it.
I think you're absolutely right. Like, I think Mousesports have a very similar approach to what they just did on Mirages there, especially on their T side, just doing fast executions outside, utilizing the big aimers they have, and that's all you really need to do on training. As long as you have a simple execution that just allows you to smoke off some of the key choke points, and then you can send players like Nico out into the main yard. As long as he's hitting shots like he was on Mirage, you're going to have no problem whatsoever. So look out for a lot of that stuff, and simple inside execution. That's the thing about train. You can go very deep, you can do all these really fancy stuff, or you can keep things simple and fast, and that can be very...
And if I'm not mistaken, Natsu, this was the map that you said Dignitas throw the decoy grenades as fake smokes. Was it them that you were saying that was?
It was their Danish fellows, TSM.
TSM that did that. Okay, that's right.
That was very cool.
That sounds like something clever that TSM
that's
would
something
do.
that would be a viable option in a lot of maps, like I said. But Train is a good example where you'll throw smokes that take a lot of time to land. So it's easy to fake a smoke with a decoy when you just use maybe 1 smoke and use 2 decoys to pretend to be smokes, and then you're actually executing on the other bomb site.
That works in Cash and Mirage.
Yep.
Those are probably the ones I'd say, and Train. I think those
Most
are great
likely,
examples.
yeah.
Yep.
I think that's definitely something Anders needs to do a video on.
Yeah,
maybe.
Anders, you're there.
I know you're watching, Anders, so get on that. Let's talk about decoys.
Theory crafting. Episode, whatever we're on. I know we just finished and uploaded Overpass. I haven't had a chance to watch it. I will. Anyway, not to digress too much from the point. We're waiting for one more player to join in for Mousesports again. This time, though, they will start out on the T side themselves. Dignitas right now, though, are joined in, so I imagine we'll get a swap. But they're joined in, actually, on the T side. Oh, wait, I've got this backwards. That's right. That's correct. So Mousesports get the CT side to start with.
So everything's normal.
Everything is normal. Everything is safe.
Please do not adjust your sets.
The universe is in balance.
Everything is correct right now.
The universe is in balance, boys.
Those static lines are expected. But it does give them a decent chance. I mean, Train's a little bit less. I still think Mirage, but between this and Train, would rather have CT side on Mirage. This is still all the potential in the world to be a dead even map, even more so toward T side if to execute it correctly. One of the things I haven't seen so much over the last few evenings that I really want to is more of a quad smoke. A lot of people are leaving that quad alley open. Not the alley so much towards the wall, but right there from the bump stop all the way into the main connector. And how many times have we seen teams think that our smokes are on A, we can walk in, and they leave that little gap, and AWP or M4, it doesn't matter. It's either whether they lose a man or they lose so much damage that when they come into the site, they're significantly weakened. Throw out a Molotov and nade toward electric box. It does so much damage as well. So.
I think right now there are 2 teams that are a bit ahead, in my opinion, the way they play in their T-side Train compared to others, and that's Virtus Pro and Fnatic.
Yep.
And that's merely because of how simply they play as well. Basically what they'll do a lot of the time is they'll try and get an entry kill on yard, and then when they do actually get that, they'll just plow out from every single angle, and they're just going to pinch you in at the bomb site.
Seems like all 10 players now on the server. Said this is the second map if you're just joining us. Mousesports taking the first in a pretty close contest on Mirage. This is the best of 5 series, so if they do win this one, they'll need one more, which will be D-Cobble on the 3rd map back. And we did predict this could go the distance to all 5, so here we go then. Let me analyze the terrorist biofield, see if we can diagnose where they will be going towards. So Dignitas T-side. Tech9 on MSL, and he's going to get a smoke as well. So 2 sets of armor, AZ and Kiabi. Nico on a smoke grenade as well. This is
3 sets of nades.
Interesting.
That implies to me either a fake or just a smoke out yard.
This looks like a smoke out yard. Come out Ivy perhaps. You maybe go the backtracks and towards the inside side maybe.
MSL's already thrown. They've got 2 on the inside side already. Flashes coming in on Ivy. And MSL's made it up toward the alley, but Nex will stop him in his tracks. No pun intended. Slow down the push on the outer site. Nex going to get a 2nd kill before finally perishing at the hand of AZ, who's gone now to Chris J. So things are going back and forth and stabilizing. It's down to 2 versus 2, and Nico tries to get inside that ladder room, but Chris J's gotten clever and gone toward main. He'll push directly past them, re-enter the site as he needs. And in the meantime, Pimp's gone back through Z Connector, so both teams swapping around each other to try and stay safe and take the peek as they can, not get caught in the open, and it does favor Dignitas because they find themselves inside the B site. Not their intended goal, but good reaction and read on the play. But nice shot by Nicolino coming back in toward that B side, and now Nico on Dignitas has a big ask, and they're already pushing onto his position. Does he realize the shot came in from his left? He does, and when he goes back, Nico again is just absolutely perfect on the pistol round.
I think the first problem right there in that round was the fact that MSL was way too fast going into 2 quad compared to his teammates. So that kind of disconnected the whole sandwich idea they had going on there with 3 guys coming out of alley. But Nicolino just showcasing why he's playing on this Mousesports team right now.
Aim as well, the 1-bullet USP potential is huge, and he is utilizing it perfectly. Great reads from him, pushing the lower ramp and taking down the terrorist on upper.
There you saw that kill from Next where he killed the guy MSL coming through T main. He was a bit too early on the action.
It's worth noting that the terrorists did get the bomb down, won't be buying armor this round, so you can only expect they're going to get the AK. So it should be a pretty simple round for Mousesports. They will be able to read this as well. 1 UMP and got B. This should be a pretty simple clear up.
Chris J as well, but they're starting to lose some money as they lose rifles. Luckily, they'll throw away and get the M4 back into their hands. That'll keep up FAMAS to go to next, but keep up most of the expensive rifles.
So every kill in that situation for Dig is very important. They managed to get 2, but we can see, that's like you said, recovering a couple of those rifles. 5 AK buy for them.
Yep, exactly, and that's all based on that first bomb plant. They've got okay nades to work with. Molotovs, only 1. That's AZ. Smokes, though, there is 4. 4 already deployed. No, 2. Take that back. And they're on the A side. 1 is in that quad position, so it will allow them a bit more opportunity on entry, but not with Chris J getting in toward Hell. He's already picked up 1, and down the devil will go as AZ gets back into him. It's 3 versus 4 in favor of Dignitas with these AK-47s. They've still got 2 M4s to contend with. And Nex, although not holding on to one of those, is on top of the bomb train. Mind you, low HP, so needs to be careful. Dodges the flash, hits the bomb carrier with MSL down. A better chance for his teammates to recover, and he'll make the call, communicate exactly Nico's location. But Nico is now Nikolai on 1 HP, and that's going to be a perfect nade from Kierby.
Yeah, very fast execution coming in there from Dignitas. He's utilizing the AKs they had. They knew they had the upper hand in terms of the rifles. Next, one of the strongest players, stuck on the A-bomb side with a FAMAS. Never going to be able to light up the scoreboard as well as he does with the M4 there. But now, Mousesports, they knew they were going to be up against it that time, and they're going to have to be on eco this round. So 5-7's coming in, P250s as well. Some body armor on Chris J and Dennis, but Dignitas, they know what they have to do here and what they'll be up against. The MSL throwing a smoke to outside. It looks like most of the players are going to be committing towards inner.
The pace is really fast from Dignitas right now. They're keeping this high pace.
And they go again. Lots of damage done to AZ, so needs to be careful, but has 3 teammates beside him who could take the peek instead. And they do so successfully by picking up 2 kills, make it 3 now as Nico comes over, and Pimp's going to take down Chris J. It's all falling apart for Mousesports. 1 kill in the end to MSL. AZ manages to stay alive, but they'll build that bank.
I think it's pretty smart actually to play really fast pace in the early rounds. So that means the CTs are going to be that's when the mind games come in, and you can slow down the pace a little bit going further because you're going to make the CTs waste so much more nades early on in the rounds.
Well, let's see how the mind games go this time. Chris J on a scout. They fully bought into this UMP as well, and a FAMAS on Nico. Definitely not optimal situations for them. And like I said, Dignitas have been very fast and aggressive the last 2 rounds here. So will they be continuing that pace? Bomb is actually going to be going towards inner for now. And no CT presence really going too aggressive there, but this buy definitely favors Dignitas.
Off to disallow that quick play this time, though. Finally something to slow the pace of Dignitas down. And for the first time, we're seeing them put a little bit of pressure on that inner site just to evaluate what's been going on there. They've got a great idea of what's going on outer, as they now will be the aggressed. But they don't have an idea of what's going on inner. Nikio needs to get back around the corner, 3 HP, and Gobby can't chase because he's got someone else to contend with, and the fact that MSL's there to cover his very weakened and hemorrhaged teammate. As Nikolai will push forward, Nicolino, to try and find some information, and he will find AZ at the top of the stairwell as we turn our attention to the facts that matter. The action onto A. They are coming in from either side, and just barely before Nico could get in position, he's lost sight of his opposition, but he'll get behind AZ eventually. They're pushing forward. In fact, he may get behind more than just AZ. One down. They line up, and oh, good response. If AZ hadn't hit that, there was 2 kills and 2 remaining. That could have quickly gone Mousesports' way.
Yeah, that could have been a totally different round when Mousesports was pushing that team main with 3 players. If they got that pick on Nico and got good control of that team main, they could have made it that much harder for Pimp and the boys coming from alley pushing in. But Pimp getting those 2 entry kills also very, really important. You can see in here.
UMP actually coming to fruition there, but that last push for Nicolino, we saw the players line up for him, could have gone either way, but not many managing to find it. And of course now the CTs after that force buy will be on another eco here. He needs to be careful, getting to a dangerous sort of territory for them.
Good shot by MSL again. He's had some impact tonight. Again, the shot caller for Dignitas. He picks up 2 actually in this round. Nico's going to go head-to-head with Nikolai. Actually, take that back. Godby, excuse me. Misreading from this distance as Nico now, though, is on a 1-on-5 with a Deagle.
Just keeping up that crazy fast pace, even when they know the CTs are on eco there. 1 Deagle left. I don't think much is going to come of this. Oh, as we said that, of course, the 1D comes in.
Cursed it.
I don't believe in
You
curses.
have to be careful with that, but
But another simple round for Dig. And so 4th one goes on the board, looking very confident. We'll just have a quick look at the CT cash going into this next round. They should be able to get a decent buy here. Money bonus now starting to work in their favour after losing 4 rounds in a row. So maybe they can potentially actually get the AWPs out here. It will be glass cannons, but hopefully if they can get Chris J on one just to lock down the inner bomb site, for example. Just have that anchor somewhere on the site so we can see he's yet to buy. Will he be bringing in? Actually not going to do it. Could have actually afforded one there, but 5 rifles. But they do have decent equipment this time. Has to be noted though, not a single kit on the team. So need to be careful. Need to make sure that execution doesn't come in straight away. If the bomb does go down, they're in a world of pain.
And this is going to put some damage into that main connector. Doesn't connect on anyone just yet. Watch the pressure that's being applied on Nicolino because he's got the job ahead of him, and AZ is going to win that. So that weakens inside significantly. Also gives them a lot more options because the defense, they've got to fan out across the map, spread themselves thin. And the problem with spreading yourself thin on a bomb site like A, B not so much because you still only have two choke points to contend. A, you've got a lot more angles to cover off. So on train, that can be a massive problem in that outer yard.
Yep, absolutely. Now, 5-on-4 situation. Next frag will be very important. CTs need to find something. As we said, they don't have a kit here. They can't allow bombs to go down.
B's been the lead in contention, though, down to Kirby. Goes on the way through, so now the defense are even thinner with numbers as Nex will get one in return, but Pimp's found it, and Dennis is gone. He's going to hold on to the M4 as long as he possibly can. And if he holds on long enough, he'll get his way. Hopefully hold it into the next one. Never mind, I lied. He's not going to hold on to that M4 because he's found that AK.
yeah, Nicolino keeping that aggressive and a bit of risky positioning on that inside bomb side again, like we saw in the previous match on train. It's one of the problems was on that one where Nicolino just died so many times as the first guy. That's always going to cause a rotation. That's always going to make another part of the map weaker. Pimp also getting an entry in alley, and basically Mousesports just got sandwiched on yard afterwards.
So, once again, this is a common trend for Mousesports sometimes. Definitely saw this at the major as well. Their economy management, force buying, a lot of questionable situations going with scouts and UMPs instead of actually waiting for the main rifles. And again, it seems like that decision will be made. As you can see, the UMP coming in for Gold B. Obviously, it is a viable weapon, but you'd much rather have M4s, AWPs, and now they go into this with 2 UMPs.
I'd much rather see them double up, not double UMP.
Yeah, that's definitely a very good point. Well, let's see. The aggression seems like to continue as Dignitas sending 3 players towards the inside bomb site straight away here.
So fast play, but this time on a different approach. It's going to be Nico that has to wait for it. He's on top of the train this time, so AZ won't get that same shot we saw open up, but we're watching Pimp rather, but Nico's got 2 kills on that entry, so that slows everything down for Dignitas. If Pimp, though, on this lurk, can manage to find something to take down Chris J to his right, who's not got his attention turned, and he sees him, there might be a chance for them to come back over toward A. They still have control of that ladder position, and the bomb is now heading there. Pimp has made something happen out of nothing. They had no options, and now they do, and he's also got Z all covered. Gompy down very low on HP, 4 in fact. So very well done for the single player on A site to pull this back for Dignitas. They've got 5 rounds already and potentially could get 6 off this play, but we're not done just yet. Nico's going to take down Nex with the AWP. That's all the way from the ladder room. Pimp away to the bomb train. 4 HP for Gobby. So what can Nico try and pull out of nothing and turn in reverse against the opposition? And they have. Pimp goes down, so does Nico. They push forward onto him, and Gobby may not have HP, but he's managed to find a kill, which leaves MSL. Still debate the bomb, though. Has the time in his favor, and Gobby hits it, but there's no time at all. And with 4 HP, all 10, imagine, are going to be gone.
Team there in that round, he was the decoy basically on yard. One-man decoy, try to make as much noise, maybe get 1 kill, and that's it. But instead, he became that part of the round that actually won the mid. He got that entry basically after the rotation happened to inside. He got that 1 kill on yard, and that's what enabled Dignitas to be able to just fall back, rotate to yard, get the bomb down. But going obviously a bit too close there in the end.
Absolutely, like Gobby tried to save the AWP as well. Not going to happen, but this time, after losing so many rounds in a row, they have got an AWP out, but 1 pistol on Nex. It's a big sacrifice as Christian actually just goes down straight away. That AWP is going to be made redundant within the first 10 seconds. Dennis needs to step up here, and he actually does. Picks up 2 big frags there with the Famous. Locks down MSL and AZ. KRB answering back onto Gobby, though.
That's the big thing. The answer now gives them the man advantage. They've got bomb down, though, the CTs. They've got control of that at the ladder room. Although I'm not actually 100% sure Nex knows that, because he is just below it. And it's above him. He may not have spotted that. Instead, he turns his attention back to the A site, which indicates that he may not. KRB just going to miss spotting him up. Did he? I'm not 100% sure. That smoke was in the way, so Nex is able to sit against the wall. KRB does come in. KRB's low on HP, and that allows Nex with just the pistol to close the kill, but watch the fact that control room is occupied right now. Doesn't come into play. Pimp was waiting for the angle. It never came to him. Nico's got to go back and grab bomb, but he's got a gift on the ladder. Thank you very much, Nex, for showing up as you do. I'll take that and the bomb and your pistol, because it's apparently better than mine, to complement my AWP. And I'll put this bomb on the A site. So what can Dennis possibly do to come around as well? Look toward ladder to come in very quickly. But again, he's very low on HP as well. And the positions are pretty safe and secure right now from Dignitas. No one overextending. We're trying to get aggressive and in the open, and I think Dennis has read into the fact that it's unlikely he pulls this off given his disadvantage with bleeding and everything else. So it's going to be now 6, make it 7-2 for Dignitas.
Yep, so many rounds in a row as well. Dignitas really have woken up here. 7 in a row after losing the first 2. And it's just been that very fast, aggressive play. It looks like Dennis will go down as well. They spotted him. He's very low HP. 1 bullet would do it. Actually say that he gets into the cubby. And he should be okay there. But very impressive stuff from Dignitas so far, making sure every round pretty clean. And we go into round number 10 now. And once again, you can see the UMP coming up for Gobby. And it seems a common trend here. You can see 2 players, Chris J and Nico, not really having much to work with in terms of cash. And it's just been absolutely ruined for them here. Like, well, they've got 2 kids here. They've got some smoke grenades. Much better buy than have previous rounds.
There's a point in time when you just need to push that reset button and just double save and get those ops in town.
They need them. The double AWP here would save them, I think. We said that Chris J does open things up onto Nico. For the first time in a while, they've had the advantage.
Nico continues to lead the way for his team. He's got 10 kills. That's pretty impressive considering their situation, but more impressive is the fact that Nex is able to hold on to that bomb train by getting 2 kills. Leaves AZ, who wants desperately to land the spray against Nex. He found Dennis before that, so he's given himself a real chance here. 2 kills, has Nico to go against, and he's down on HP in the duel. But Nico with no head armor, doesn't matter. Nico's got the shot. Just the FAMAS takes AZ's head straight.
Yeah, and this time Mousesports is going to be under heavy pressure when it comes to economy. If they lose this round, they're going to be looking at a really, really bad safety side.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. This is where it gets reset. Very fragile right now. They need to make sure they win this round. Relying pretty heavily. Nex getting 2 frags there. Nicolino having to step up quite a lot on these rounds as
Nex and Gob, no nades at all to work with this round.
There we go. Like you said, huge rounds in the context of the economy.
And they're playing inside that outer. There's a paradox. They're playing at the outer bomb site, so they can't actually smoke off those main connecting points. Chris J, likewise, hasn't done so with Ivy. And he's got some problems there, but Dennis was a great push.
Yeah, that was a good bait from Nicolino baiting that for Dennis.
Chris J now does go back eventually and deploy that smoke, but Pimp On the other side of the server, can he get the kill? Chris gonna go by. Does he spot him? I don't think he does. He's too blinded up, so Chris is gonna get past, but I think he's hurt him. Okay, good ears from Nico. So coming back out, Chris J goes down, and he only gets information that 2 players are there and doesn't really get much of a read on the play. Dennis has since gone over through CT toward the control room, but he's just gonna go around the world and back to the Z connector. That might be the right call, because Kirby's regrab bomb and is looking at the B site. That's where Dennis found that early aggression we talked about. He'll have to follow that up by adding to his kill tally. Gobby as well is going to have Pimp pushing on, so Dignitas have reevaluated as all of that was happening for whatever reason, and it looks like it's promising because now it's just next. Dennis still looking at Inter because they've thrown 1 smoke out on that lower sidewalk, which will hold him in position. A trade kill comes in, but that heavily favors still Dignitas as they'll get toward the train. They'll get the bomb down. They'll smoke Dennis as well. He tries to flash himself in. Dodging as he turns backwards and runs through, but Kirby's already got eyes on him. He should know where Nico threw that from. If he saw him come over the train, he'll know that he's out toward that main connector, so he just needs to find Kirby again as well. But the crossfire is established. They're going to bait him out accordingly, and they'll drain the time from the clock. 1 grain of sand left in the hourglass before they'll peak, and in fact, they'll go toward Dennis before that even has to happen.
Yeah, when you're in those kind of situations, a 2-on-1 is hard enough on most maps. A train outside bomb site is one of the most hardest such situations you could possibly be in, especially when the bomb's in such an open area. He came through, he did what he could, checked some key choke points, but at the end of the day, you don't even need to face his T, you just need to wait for the defuse to come in and then
Look at this. Mouse is force buying on this round.
No way. Are you kidding? They're actually doing that.
As they know they're going to be needing basically 2 saves here. They're investing heavily on this, and then if they don't win this, they're going to save the next.
You have the Desert Eagles, Armors. Looks like a very fast inside push. Actually, Mouse opening up with 2 kills.
Being a monster flank.
Not too bad at all, but look where Kirby comes around to make sure he compensates. Gobby, though, does find those 2 kills late, and luckily Kirby got onto that as well, so he's had high impact in the round, but has he done enough? Now finding next, he may have, because it's just the pistol of Chris J that's left. Bomb still down, though, as Kirby needs to get back toward the bomb site to try and get it, and it's going to be the Deagle that comes away, so the force buy from Mousesports.
Paying dividends.
Yeah, you guys questioned it. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
money, exactly. They lost 4 people.
There's still no money at all, so they're going to be Fama says.
So look, same thing really goes with the terrorists. They have got 2 players on high money, but that was a big round in the context of everything, really. And then Gobby, what a huge play from him to get those 2 5-7 kills in the back.
This is reminiscent.
Look at this.
This is reminiscent of round 2.
Julies,
like this is like reminiscent of the second
MP9s.
round.
What is going on? Again, I guess against a full Tech 9 buy with no armor, they'll be okay. But
This is round 2.
Or are they?
Mousesports won the pistol. Dignitas have forced up onto Tech 9s. That's basically where we are right now. That's the world we're living in. And the dualies, they're actually going to come into play. But Kirby, he comes through with the Tech 9, gets immediately back in. Watch Gob's position, because above on that train, he'll be able to spot up for Dennis to come out and close the kill. He's also spotted Kirby going back. And this double force, if they can keep 3 alive, may eventually bail them out. And 2 rifles up as well, which means that if Nico doesn't want to upgrade, if Nikolai doesn't want to upgrade, Nicolino, whatever his name is, I'm confused at this point myself. They can still bring out 2 more rifles on Chris J and next, but Kirby's going to try and make this interesting. I know, right? I thought it was. It seemingly is not. But he's already going to get spotted by Dennis, who will take a little bit of damage and not having the gun out. Eventually, he goes down. He doesn't hit that spray, just on the edge of the train. Couple bullets catching the metal. Unfortunately, can't do enough, but Gobby closes it. The important thing is that they pick up that second rifle.
yeah, so an interesting round nonetheless there. MP9s, MAC-10s, Julies. Not something you see so much going into round number 13, but there we go. It's going to be another one on the board for Mousesports, making it 8-5. 2 rounds to go now. The bad news if for Mouse is Nico has picked up the AWP this time. They've got 5 rifles and 5 kits this time, so maybe they can stabilize things. We haven't seen that outside fast aggression from Dignitas in a while. They really have slowed down the pace here. But I'd say Mousesports definitely need these last 2 rounds just to give them a decent chance going onto the T-half.
Nico coming in late is going to have the last laugh, and he who laughed last laughs loudest. Coming out while Dignitas players were both distracted, trying to take, and unsuccessfully so, take down Dennis.
There's really nice synergy from them there. The distraction was perfect. Nico come up, double kill, and secures the round.
Call Dennis the ringmaster. He just had the red cape, the Bulls started running, and Nico just slaughtered them on the way by. Steak for dinner, boys. Mousesports now picking up 2 more. Kirby, Pimp, Nico to follow. as Gabi will close it out. They've pulled this half, back. It was, remember, 8-4 at a point with no money on Mousesports' side, and
But
now it's
still,
8-6.
To be honest with you, they should have double sided at one point very early on and then just gone for the double ops. I think that's something a lot of teams actually do, kind of trap that a lot of teams fall to, just because certain teams can do that so well. But they are specific teams for many causes.
Mousesports, they rely heavily on the players like Chris J to use the AWP. But here comes the fast round once again. We saw from Dig. It worked so well in the early stages of the game.
So far this time, though, the AWP's out. They didn't have that in the early game. And Dennis picking up that first kill might slow them down, or does it? Gabi, he gets forward, and one goes by him on the left. I believe that was Kirby who's picked up a kill. He knows MSL's shooting, but hasn't spotted him. Trigger discipline, hits the shot on Pimp. Wanted to make sure he lines that up with the M4. MSL to follow, and bomb is dropped on the ground. That's crucial because AZ has to pull that back against 2 remaining players right now on Mousesports, and that will be too much to handle for AZ as it appeals 8-7. They do get back to a tie situation.
The positives we can take away from this is now Mousesports has some room to work with.
They do, yeah. They've got actually. There's a chance there. Like after it looked like they didn't have a clue as to what was going on. Force buying every situation. That Deagle buy from them and the 5-7 combo, that was actually so
Saving
pivotal.
grace.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice little round there from Godby, actually. If you watch him in that last round, he was really very clever movement, got right behind the terrorist team there and backstabbed them onto the bomb site. That was a big play from him. And here's the highlights of this UMP, maybe the MVP of this half. We saw him come out a lot there. But 8-7 is going to be a scoreline. And second half going to be starting now. It's going to be Mousesports heading over to the T side. Pistol definitely required, I would say, just to get them their confidence back, get the lead for the first time since the opening pistol.
Yeah, it would be massive if they could to get that start. 8 rounds terrorist side for Dignitas. Not a bad effort, but again, this map, when played correctly, could be dead even between the two teams. Remember, Mousesports also have the 1-0 lead so far in this series. So for Dignitas to come back on train, which we kind of favored would go to Mousesports, would be significant enough to push this out. Give them a real fighting chance late.
So Nicolino, once again, had a huge first map. Stepping up for his team there. 16 kills, very important on the inside bomb site.
But
on the other side.
Gabi also, he's been putting up some really good numbers this matchup so far.
Just to look on the other side as well. Kiabi, 18 kills. I think he was getting some great entry kills when they're doing the very fast stuff outside. I talked about the first 6 rounds or so. They were doing very quick executions we saw in that last round there. It didn't work out for them that time. Once the CTs actually got the AWP and were able to get that first pick, that's when that was a little bit more difficult for Dignitas. But here we go then. The second half does begin. Mousesports on the T side here, trailing behind, as they do enter arguably the unfavoured side here on the Ts. Chris J buying a deagle on the pistol, not something we see too often these days. Reminiscent of the CS Source glory days, I might say. But let's see what goes down here. 3 sets of armour for them. Chris J and the deagle. Godby, smoke grenade out. It seems like they'll be slowing this one down. Maybe just one smoke going out towards the key choke. But AZ opens it up though.
Big push for him to get that first kill on Chris J.
The deagle got as well.
Gathered. I think MSL spotted the first player crossing over, hence why he's gone passive in that B site.
Why would you even buy a deagle in a pistol round? I'm just putting that out there. Honestly, since you can't even buy an H with it, there's no point in my opinion to buy a deagle.
Agreed.
And now what can Nico do to try and slow them? MSL, though, he's up close. Takes down Dennis. Comes back in with MSL to go down, though. And Nico tries to come in again. Dignitas this time from the back of the site. They have to fight their way forward toward that bomb, but the bomb's going down at A's site. They don't even need to do it. They found it. Next, luckily, gets AZ before that got out of hand, but does he have time to plant the bomb? He's going to have to fake it, and he'll pull Pimp to his right, who's going to come out and eventually get the kill against him. Well played by Dignitas to stay slow, to keep their cool, and crucially, to keep the lead in the game.
Well, that seemed like they were trying to get some picks early on yard, and they'll fake inside, and then actually their plan altogether was to go outside, and next Gabi almost pulled it back, but didn't happen in the end.
So let's see, bomb not going down there, but Chris J picking up the scouts. And definitely a force by coming into the second round. Full famous buy from Dignitas. They will be expecting this. Shots
coming in successfully already for Galino as he gets Gobby, but watch Nico to come back from that Z connector. There is no smoke in front of him, so this FAMAS could do massive damage from that range. Meanwhile, though, Nex has got close enough to use that Tech 9 to full effect against poor old Kirby. Mousesports still losing numbers. It's 2 versus 2. They've done a significant job, and they're going to do more than that. Chris J gets an assist and a kill to close it out. That's Scout again from Chris J.
He got 2 assists and a kill again, and that last kill was mid-air and jumping off of a ladder of a train. Hitting that shot.
That rattled his ancestors. Huge one dig from him.
Wow. I don't even know what to say.
You look shocked. That's who he's done. Let's see if we can see the replay of that one.
There we
Boom.
go. That was like, what, 3 guys there, and he hits the middle one?
Now, Mousesports back in the driving seat now, of course, picking up some main aggression, 3 frags going in their favor. Be a pretty simple round from this stage.
Down the ladder, though. Dennis waiting, takes down MSL. One less player and one less flank to worry about. So bomb getting planted for Mousesports. We said that it was good for Dignitas to avoid going down and losing the lead here. Well, Mousesports with that eco round in the second. Force buy, mind you. We always call it an eco round because they don't have the advantage in money, but a force buy is able to pull things back and now potentially tie it on 9s, and not only that, still have money and advantage against their Dignitas counterpart.
Yeah, and they need to save another one here, Dignitas, but at least they're going to have a pretty healthy buy going into that run number 20, so that's what's good for them. They're actually going to be able to have an op probably for that for that round. Jeez.
It's interesting to see the Deagle
really
come back so much into the meta recently. A lot of teams picking up the Deagle on those force buys, and players like Guardian and Nicolino apparently can make it work really well for them, and it has been left out of CSGO for quite a while, so it's good to see.
Really fast pace from Mousesports as well.
Yeah, so far so good as Nex will take down Easy to start it off. Nico to get 2 more. Pimp, other Nico to go down. But look at him, he finishes off with a 3rd. MSL just walks out into the same line he fired into the first 2. And that'll make us now 10 rounds from Mousesports, but Dignitas with a chance to get right back into it before it gets out of control. And not only that, the AWP going to come out for Dignitas.
Yeah, that's what we spoke about for Mousesports before. They didn't have that option going into that first round. Dignitas do have that option this time. It'll be interesting where they take it. Will they be going towards the inside site, anchoring one person towards there, making sure he can hold it off? But Nico actually going towards facing main. That seems like Mousesports favouring the inside bomb site here. 3 players going in there. They're only going to find 1 CT if they're fast. Chris J leading the charge. He's got an AWP himself. It's going to be MSL waiting for them now.
Down Chris J goes. He's been given the room to watch this sidewalk, which does mean Dignitas with their AWP on Nico has to be careful on entry. Chris isn't able to hit the shot, but the smoke will come out, so there's no response. And now Chris has a second effort, a different angle, and he does tag Nico and also hits MSL. He's doing lots of damage, but the kills still favor Dignitas as Nico will get back into Chris J in the end. And it means that only 3 players remain. Bomb's not there, though. Nico's doing this all for sale. Pimps realized it and come back over to take down Gobby. That was the bomb. So now it's dropped on A, and Dignitas are going to put this on 10-10. Unless Nico pulls off absolute magic to close out the round.
So, Chris J getting down the lower ramp there, missing that shot onto Nico in the connector area. I feel like that was so pivotal there. How do you make that kill? Could have turned the round around, but it doesn't seem like it's over yet. Nicolino picks up the first frag. His other counterpart. Pop dog. 20 seconds remaining. Run past one of the CTs there. Hello.
Yeah, there it is, gone. Kierby to close the round out. Nico will go down 10-10. So we're staying dead even, guys. 10-10, you can't make a wish, just to clarify. Just wanted to let you know.
Oh, that's 11-11, right?
Right.
A famous thing.
Only palindromic numbers
yeah.
in 4 intervals.
Well, Team Dignitas do bounce back. Like I said, that pick from Chris J, I think he did actually hit Nico there, but unable to find the kill. Chris J has got the AWP again, and this time, interesting enough, Dick haven't got one. Because we're doing the AK-47.
Smokes out though, Pimp not able to get through quad. They've used that perfectly, and Gobby's going to do the same, but it comes out a little bit early on Ivy. There's someone already staring him down in the form of Kierby. Dennis, though, wants to get close to this bomb site on A, and he's going to push forward regardless. Spots one over top of the smoke, can't land the shot, and now he's under fire because that's given away his position, and there was 3 people able to hit that angle. Not good odds to have. Pimp's pulled back against Nico. Chris J, though, never count him out of the round. He's got 3 to go. He's found one with the AWP, still has the bomb, but he doesn't have a whole lot of room. They know he's at quad. They won't allow him to rotate back and try and take this inner. There is 56 seconds if he's able to find that space, and he may now as he's gotten pimped. That gives away a lot of read, and Nico has to find the shot perfectly. They do have a crossfire setup, though. MSL holding hands. They'll get it. Dignitas will extend.
So a pretty simple execute there from Mousesports. We saw a lot of that from Mirage. I think on train, you need to have more utility usage across the map. You can see there are some smokes down, but they're not utilizing Molotovs at all whatsoever. It gives the CTs opportunities to hold very favorable angles and get crossfire set up, waiting for the Ts to push through. I'd prefer more Molotov usage and forcing CTs and choking them out of certain situations. After winning one round, losing the subsequent one as well, you can see a very forced buy this round. Got beat with an AK and armor. Money situation is still reasonable for them though, so more of a quasi buy. They can actually get AKs next round. 4 players heading towards the inside bomb site.
MSL's going to fall off this. He's read it to go passive. He knows that no teammate at A has called any activity at this point in time. So he may just start to expect this play. They've also got a quick rotation over toward the Z connector in the form of Nico, and he's going to get the first shot onto Dennis. Well done. A second one to follow it up. The AWP paying dividends, but MSL, Taz is the only one who can consistently hit that angle. MSL catches the edge of the train, and Next gets back in, but bomb plant denied again from who other than the AWP player, this time with a grenade.
I mean, MSL got one thing right. That flash was perfect.
That's the angle that we saw him do that yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
Facing the angle to lower ramp. You don't want to face that commit because you're too committed at that stage. You want the Ts to be in the unfavorable situation. You're actually putting yourself in a position where they can fall back and shoulder peek you. That's a problem for MSL. He seems to not understand that angle too well, but that's what Taz plays that so well because he waits for the Ts to actually be in there and they don't have any cover at that stage. But nonetheless, another round on the board for Dig. 5 AKs in the hands of Mousesports now. We're sort of possibly by this last round. Decent utility as well. They will be slowing things down here. And what will they present to the CTs this time? More players heading towards inside.
Perhaps the second coming of their approach on inner against MSL will be more successful without Nico to be in place, but Nico is rotating over. This time, though, there's a smoke already down before Nico's shot can do the damage. MSL, he's improved. He's got one this time, but Chris J's still able to trade it. They'll get on top of the bomb train, and Chris J looking for the angle on Zed Hall. Doesn't land a shot, but gets information. Pimp's gone back into Gobbeat, and there it is. Nico, he does come eventually. Another Nico goes against AZ. Next will fall back, and unfortunately spotted by Kirby. Leaves Nico to come back over with the bomb. He's gone as well, and Dignitas are looking solid now. It was back and forth. Remember, they won pistol. They lost the 3 ensuing rounds after Nico. If they hadn't done that, I dare say Mousesports may not have had one on the board yet.
This is a very big round indeed. It looks like, once again, Mousesports, as I say, I was scared if they were going to force into that one fully. But it seems like Chris J actually making a huge investment there. He's actually going to only leave himself with $950. He gets the scouts out once again. We talk about how strong he can be with that, but this is a big round for them to lose. They don't take this one. Dignitas coming very close to match point. The bomb's actually been left at T-spawn here as well. All the way in T-spawn.
Good shot from Kirby, doubling already, and AZ is in great position to take down Next. It takes him a few more bullets than he would have liked, but then it only takes him one with the USB. Fitting. Okay, I'll accept it.
Were they just planning on losing that round? Let's just leave the bomb here, guys. It's not even, well, we're not going to get any kills anyway, so
it's not happening, boys.
But there we go. Chris J, you can see the money's pretty decent across the board. Like I said, Chris J investing pretty heavy. He won't be able to buy the AWP. Maybe Goldbeak can drop it for him, which he does. But obviously a huge round, as this could pit Dignitas onto map point and get them back into this series.
Chris J eating a nade, actually dodging a nade for the better part of it. 4 HP only lost. Pimp is going to push. We haven't seen anyone push the top of the train yet for Dignitas. Doesn't work out. Fires a little bit soon, doesn't land a shot, and Gobby's got lots of ample opportunity to respond. Chris J, though, does get AZ, so Kirby has to be careful on Hell. Right now, as of this exact moment, he's the only one in the A site until Nico arrives in the Z hallway with that AWP that we've seen be so solid over the last 3 to 4 rounds. And Kirby gets a gift as Chris J walks unsuspectingly into his crosshair. Now can they do on the terrorist side? It's going to go to match point potentially because Dennis has already spotted, and Kirby, I said he had to come up big on that side. He picks up all 3 remaining kills.
Great trades from Mousesports. It's too early there, but then it all just slowed down way too much. You need to make sure you have more control of the bomb site. Right after getting those kills, you need to contest the possible third player. This time they let Kirby be alone on that quad area way too soon, way too long, and then that gave the opportunity for the other CDs to also just rotate to perfect positions, and then it just becomes an impossible round for Mousesports to win anymore.
Well, 15-10 now. Obviously, they do have to buy here. Way up against the rope. Dignitas definitely favour going to this round. No utility really for the teams to play with. Going to be relying purely on individual skill, and so far, nothing to be seen.
Shots coming out, though, to favor Dignitas again to close this map right here and now, and that's going to be the case as Kirby closes it. 16-10, we're tied at 1 apiece, and it's back and forth, each winning the other's map choice. Not a bad comeback from Dignitas.
Not bad at all. Like he said, not their map choice, and actually doing very well there to get back into it.
Why do I always blue screen after the game?
Because the laptops can't handle the hype. It's too much.
It hates me.
But yeah, just
fair enough.
Mousesports, once again, I've always said it whenever I cast their games, their CT economy management is sometimes horrible, and that was a great example of that. They could have just taken a couple more recos, not forced UMPs and Famouses, and actually got themselves back into that game instead of losing the first half. Again, on their T execute as well, I felt like the Molotov usage wasn't there. You watch teams like VP and Fnatic play that map, and what's so good about them, well, let's take it back a second. The thing about what Mousesports do is the smokes they put down, the CTs can actually use that as cover as well. Then they can set crossfires up and adjust their position. When you're throwing the Molotovs down, you're taking even more control away from them. They're forced to face certain angles because you flushed them out. That just wasn't happening. The smokes were going down. They're relying on that individual kills again. It just wasn't coming to them.
Yeah, what I was really looking like, what was lacking in my opinion for Mousesports was the fact that there was no set pieces, like real actual executes. No yard smokes that you go with, or no fakes and stuff like that. What they really, like the only fakes they really had were initially basically they had 2 guys go inner, 2 guys go outer, and let's see who gets the first picks, and then we decide what we do after that.
Yeah.
None of which worked.
Just looked a little bit underprepared there. Like Mirage got away with it. Obviously, Nicolino stepping up so big. But Train, I think it's a bit more methodical map. You do need some sort of theory behind your executions. All
right, well, let's take a look at the scoreboard. Again, there was one man that rose above the rest on the Mousesports side. But again, they don't come away with the victory. 27 kills again for Nico. But it's Kirby who leads overall, 31 for him. So we've seen 2 people drop 30 in regulation over 2 maps this evening. Kirby, the young gun. They're both the young guns, actually, when you look at it that way.
Yeah, 18 years old. He's a very strong player. We talk about him always stepping up, sometimes a little bit inconsistent, but that game especially very strong. So I guess we can have a look at the heat map and see if that paints the picture.
Yep.
Well, it actually kind of does. That's what happens when they get a kill. It paints a little dot. So it does paint a picture.
That's what I said. That's why
Good
I said
jokes,
it.
Matt.
Oh, I get it. All right, you were ahead of me.
There we go.
Okay, so Matt, why don't you diagnose this one for us?
Sure. Well, obviously, there's a lot more activity for Dignitas' T side on entry, more so at the back of the A side as well. And other than that, the bottom of the B ramp. So that means Mousesports putting a little more pressure there. That's where MSL would have gone down a few times as well.
The thing about inside bomb side, that's where Nicolino was playing for Mousesports. He was actually doing pretty well there. So I think once they ascertained the rounds they were losing, when Nico was actually picking up 2 or 3 frags there when they're going in there, they probably left it and just started to go more outside in that sort of sense.
And the only kill for Dignitas that was out toward that Ivy position was when Chris J pushed through. That was the round he got passed in the smoke. So that's why there's one individual dot out there. We'll go to the next one. We'll see exactly the MVP stream. We'll see exactly who's going to be on top. I think we've already highlighted it. It's Kirby, 31 kills. It's 1.92 KDA, not too bad at all. Headshots, 12, not quite as many as what Nico had in the first game. I think he was at 19 out of 33 kills. So still, though, good value.
Definitely a player for the future. Like we pointed out, he's 18 years old. He's already been on the second best teams of Denmark for the better part of his at least a year and a half or so. So I think he's only going to get better, which is going to be scary for other people playing against him. So yeah. I think he's going to be I think he's one of those guys who may have his chance in the best Danish team down the line.
We do have a round that we wanted to highlight, though, because it was actually one of the rounds that Mousesports finally managed to shut the door on Dignitas. It's round 8. Nico gets 2 kills on the inner bomb site, but they don't account for Pimp that was lurking on A. Yep. He reopens the site. They get it back to a 3-on-3, and then they end up planting.
Yeah, basically Pimp's job on this round is to be just a distraction, throwing a lot of stuff there. You can see him around team main. But eventually, as his round starts unfolding down the line, he becomes the big part of it. He gets that opening kill on yard, which initiates a rotation with the bomb back to outer bomb site, and then when Dignitas win the round.
Yeah, you can see him there. Chris J just in front of him, lurking around.
And not only that, look how committed that bomb was to be. MSL's all the way in there. He gets flashed in. If he goes down right there, this play couldn't even happen, but yet he's managing to run back. Pimp's called. He's got the kill. They still think it's at the inner bomb site because MSL's so far forward. Chris J hurries on his horse to run to Z, and Pimp's still holding it. So anchoring that A site.
So, like, he just got so much information and that kill saying, okay, guys, although I was trying to make a distraction out here now, this is actually an open bomb site for you. Come plant on here, and look how open that plant is. It's so difficult to retake that situation. Now when it comes down, I think it comes down to a 2-on-1 in the end.
There's so many angles you have to be aware of.
I think it actually, if I'm not mistaken, Gobby and Nico pick up kills here. Gobby's on low HP. He pushes ladder, hits Nico, and I think Pimp goes down, and MSL has to close it out on time. They're short of it, so when they go for the defuse, Nico gets immediately on this. MSL comes back. There's a smoke. We don't see it right now. There's a oh no, there isn't. I guess there it is. On the bomb, and he just hits the edge of it.
He's just hoping that MSL was towards the Ivy area there. What more can you do? You just have to guess. It wasn't meant to be, like we said. So many angles to hold there.
But a good example of not everything is pre-planned. Things change on the fly, and just great reactions from Dignitas changing their game plan there.
Yeah, mid-round call is a big part of CSGO. You can't just say, let's do this tactic and see how it goes.
And then just fully commit to it.
Yeah, never.
Like, there's no changing this, never.
Next map, we go to something a little more traditional that we haven't seen over the last few nights. It will be Dust 2, getting back to basics between these two teams. It's tied at 1 apiece. It's a best of 5. We've got at least 2 more maps ahead of us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
They managed to get 2. We can see, Mousesports, like you said, recovering a little here. UMP actually coming into fruition there, but he's yet to buy. Will be bringing in. Actually, not going to do it. Could have actually afforded one there. But 5 rifles, but they do have decent step up here, and he actually does. Picks up 2 big frags there with a big round in the context of everything, really. And then God B, ready for Mousesports, making it 8-5. 2 rounds to go now. The bad news is,
but hasn't spotted him. Trigger discipline hits the shot on Pimp. Make sure he lines that up with the M4. MSL to follow, and bomb is dropped on the ground.
This time, interesting where they take it. Well, they're going towards the inside side, anchoring one across the map. You see, there are some smokes down, but they're not utilising Molotovs at all whatsoever. It gives the CTs opportunities to hold very favourable angles from MSL. He seems to not understand that angle too well, but that's what we're having.
The last 3 to 4 rounds, and Kirby gets a gift as Chris J walks unsuspectingly into his crosshair. Now can they do on the terrorist side? It's going to go to match point potentially because Dennis has already spotted it.